All right. I've got the journal completely bound. I ended up doing double the number of pages that I had in the other journal that I was showing you. So I real quick counted the pages in that journal, and there were 10. So I went ahead and created 20 pages, and I didn't use up all my scrap, but I came, of the stack that I had, but I came really close. Mostly it was just the tissue paper and napkins that were left over. So this is how I bound it, and I went ahead and did something different this time, which was I tied the knots on the inside, which you'll see here in just a moment. And the way I do this, the binding, the way that it's taught by the person who teaches it, you start with the back cover. So the tie ends up at the top. You could reverse that if you wanted the ties to be in the back. But I kind of like them in the front so that they don't interfere too much. But anyway, I have not decorated my covers yet. I started a little bit on the inside of the back cover, but just a tiny bit, and then I stopped because I usually like to decorate my covers after I'm finished with a journal. But we'll see how it goes. I might just decorate it as I go, as I come up with more scrap that I need to use up. Let's see. So here's, I left them a little bit long just because this thread is, this is a waxed, like a twine. So it's probably not going to come unknotted. But when I'm all done, I might, with the journal, I might knot again. Or I might knot these individual pieces. I'm not sure yet. But I just left it like this for now, and it doesn't bother me. I like it that way. This is the product packaging that I showed you. I just put in it, I thought about putting a couple of pencils in there, but it's kind of short. So instead what I did was I just took some scrap paper, and it was actually, it's paper that I already had cut down to size because it came in, I want to say it was probably intended to be for like greeting cards or something. Anyway, it was given to me along with all that other stuff for scrapbooking. So I put a bunch of that in there, and then there were quite a few little bits of stickers. So I put a bunch of those in there too that I thought I might use while I'm the course of working through this journal. So that's here, and it folds out just fine, and I have no problem working on a completely flat journal. I really love that concept. And then let's see, some of these pages obviously I did on video already. Some of these pages I did after quietly. I don't know which are which necessarily though, so I'm probably not going to touch on anything except for the ones that I think have something unusual on them. This was the one that was made from the refill page for the scrapbook paper. I just jelly printed on that insert really quickly. And then this was something that I had actually, it's the cover of a pad of scrapbook paper. You know how you get it and it shows you all the different pages that are in it? I just rounded the corners off, punched a hole. The back of it's blank right now. And it's just a brad, so I can turn it around and write on it, or I can actually, just undo the tape and pull the brad back off. But I just stuck that on there. I don't know why it was in my scrap pile. Here I did a pocket. I don't remember if I showed this one or not. I just did a pocket in the center. This is an envelope that was originally sent to me with something, art stuff in it. So I just incorporated that into the page. This one this is the one with the fabric and the staples. So that one you've seen. Again, this one was the first one that I did with a little pocket. I don't have anything in there right now. And that was the little note that I tacked on. This was the page that I used the punchinella. And I still haven't really, made any changes to it at this point. We'll see how I use it. We did this page, I think, on camera. This was the one with the little bag that I said I had in my stash. For some reason it didn't. Someone must have sent me something in it. So we did that one on camera. And then a lot of these are probably ones that I just did on my own. Just trying to use up stuff out of my scrap pile. And I really had a lot of fun getting creative and putting the pages together. I even did a little bit of fancy cutting, which is, you know, something I like to do, but I don't know, I guess I liked that pattern. This is an old piece of wallpaper. I did a little pocket here, and it's funny, I made this by accident, because this is actually this green piece of paper. This is it folded over. It's something I had written notes and stuff on. I folded it over and I forgot to glue it together. And so then I'm working on the rest of the page, and then I flipped it over and I was like, oh wow, that's a pocket. So I just added some trim so that I would remember that it was there. And I actually intentionally put this down. Now I got a whole stack of these, and it's just a textured greeting card, right? And a little matching envelope. But I've got a ton of them, and I don't really send a lot of handwritten note cards anymore. So I just thought I would use some of them up. So I just stuck one down there, and I actually glued it on backwards and flipped the flap over. And then I jelly printed all of it. Let's see. Just regular pages. I'm not sure I have any more pockets in it. I think I kept all the pockets a little further to the front. This was that piece that was one of my printed out drawings. I split it in half. Used one half for the base of each page. It's kind of hard to pick it out from the wallpaper background, but this is just a worn out piece of laser cut scrapbook paper, but it's got so much gel medium and plaster and stuff built up on it. So I just glued it in there. Obviously I was using this to paint over. That's the other side of that wallpaper. And I think that's just about, yep, that's it. I didn't save any special pockets for the back. I probably should have. And then this is the back cover, and like I said, I started to do something on it, but then I thought, I want to wait. I want to see what happens. So that's how the back of it turned out. It's a pretty good sized journal, and it'll probably, by the time I get done working on it, probably be about like that. It's actually like this with the little piece in there, but it'll, you know, I'll fill it out. Now, a couple of things occurred to me, and that was, what if you feel, if you're the type of person that you want everything to kind of match at least a little bit, and you kind of feel like it doesn't because it's all different scraps. I thought I would show a couple of different ways that you can use color to kind of bring it all together, and you can also use symbolism to bring it all together. So I'm going to actually separate that into a separate video, and I think I'll do a flip through again at the end, and kind of, that way you'll have a comparison to view before you get to that point in your journal to decide whether or not you want to try it. All right, thanks. I had an absolute blast. I hope you guys love this little project. This thing has been on my brain for a couple of weeks, and it's just been driving me nuts, because every time I see something either on YouTube or a class or something and it says scraps in it, I'm like, oh, maybe someone's done it, and I go look at it and it's not quite it. So I really, really was happy to get this journal made and get this idea kind of out of my head so that I can move on and do other stuff now. But I hope you make a scrappy journal, and I would absolutely love to see photos. I would love to see video flips. Just share in the comments links to anything that you have to share, or things that you want to show that you might have made. All right, I'll see you guys in another class. Bye.